Yeah. Hi guys. Good evening. So today is our second session for Advanced Java. So in the last session, we understood what are the prerequisites to attend Advanced Java and what we are going to learn as part of this Advanced Java. So here, what we are going to learn in the Advanced Java, we are going to learn project development. Java projects development we are going to learn as part of advanced Java. When we go for project contains multiple layers. What are the layers available in the project, guys? First one, a project contains presentation layer. What is that presentation layer? In every project, user interface will be available. How to develop this user interface in the project? We are going to use HTML and CSS to develop the user interface, and we will be using JavaScript to add the dynamic nature for the UI, and we will be using Bootstrap also to design the more beautiful and give mobile compatibility for web pages. Along with this, we can use in the Java, we have JSP. JSP stands for Java Server Pages. Here, by using HTML and CSS, we can develop only static web pages. If you want to develop a web page with a dynamic content, then we need to go for JSP, Java Server Pages. What is alternate for the JSP in the market nowadays? Angular we are going to use, or React.js we are going to use to develop presentation layer of the application. Online people, can you hear my voice? Could you please confirm? Online students, is my voice audible? Yeah, perfect. Presentation layer, nothing but user interface. So there are several technologies are available which are used to develop presentation part of the application. Similar to this, every application will contain web layer. Every application contains web layer. What is the responsibility of web layer in the project, guys? What is the responsibility of web layer in the project? It contains a logic to deal with request and response. As an end user, we will fill some form, we will click on submit button. If you click submit, a request will go to the server. In the back end, our logic will be available, web layer will be available. Web layer is responsible to take the request from the UI and send the response to the UI. Whenever you enter email ID password, click on login. Whatever email ID password you enter, it will be captured by web layer and it will execute give response, valid credentials or invalid credential. Request response capturing logic will be available in the web layer. In order to develop this web layer, we are using a technology called servlets. What we are using? Servlets we are using to develop web layer. In future, what we are going to use? Spring MVC. Spring Web MVC we are going to use in the future to develop web layer for our application. To work with this Spring Web MVC, servlets knowledge is mandatory. Without understanding the servlets, you cannot understand Spring Web MVC. Nowadays in the industry, every Java project is developing by using this Spring. Good. Web layer. Next one, for every project, business layer will be available. What is a business layer? What is a business layer? Come on, guys. Business layer, nothing but it contains business logic. Business layer, nothing but it contains business logic. What is the business logic? It will change from project to project. It will change from project to project. For example, form validation is a business logic. Sending email is a business logic. Sending OTP is a business logic. Sending OTP is a business logic. Generate Excel file. Whatever the data is available, generate Excel or generate one PDF file. calculations, manipulations, all these things will comes under business logic. So which technology we are going to use to develop this business logic? Normal Java. Our Java concepts only we are going to use to develop business logic of the application. To develop the business logic, first we need to understand the requirement. First, to develop a business logic, we need to understand the requirement given by the client. I will tell you software development life cycle. How we are going to get the requirement from the client as a developer, what is our day-to-day activities in the company, what are our roles and responsibilities in the company. We will discuss everything in the advanced Java. From now onwards, you need to think like a developer. You need to develop the project. How we will develop the projects in the company, in the same way we need to develop the projects now. Business layer, it contains business logic. Every day new business logic you need to implement. Every day you will get a new requirement. Project to project, page to page, screen to screen, the logic is going to change. You need to become dynamic programmer. If any requirement comes, you need to understand, you need to think, and you need to write the code. Good. Next one. For every project, we will have persistence layer also. For every project, we will have persistence layer. What is the meaning of persistence layer? What is the meaning of persistence layer? It contains logic. It contains logic to communicate with the database. To communicate with the database. Now, every project will communicate with the database to store the data permanently. Whatever the projects we are developing, those projects will store the data into database. They will, project should insert the data, update the data, delete the data, and retrieve the data. So we need to write the logic in the Java program. That program will connect with a database table. In the database, tables will be available. So the logic which is responsible to communicate with the database is called as persistence logic, database communication logic. In order to develop that persistence layer, we have JDBC. JDBC will act as a mediator between Java program and database. Java is one programming language. Database is one software. Now Java application should communicate with the database software. JDBC will act as a mediator. Now, what are the alternates available for JDBC in the market? Spring JDBC available. In future, we will learn the Spring JDBC, and we have Hibernate, and we have Data JPA. Like that, there are several technologies and frameworks available in the market to establish communication between our Java program and database software. So if you want to develop a project, you need to understand how to develop presentation layer, how to develop web layer, how to develop business layer, how to develop persistence layer, how to create database tables also. You need to create the database tables as well. I think 3 days back, I uploaded one video, roles and responsibilities of developers. How many of you seen that? What about remaining people? You have not seen that video, na? As a developer, what you need to do in the company, 20 steps I have given. As a developer, what we are going to do in the company, and that too. If you attend any interview, the first question, tell me about yourself. The second question, what are your roles and responsibilities in the project? Third question, what is your project? These are the 3 common questions they are going to ask in every interview. If you go for 100 interviews also, these 3 questions are common. Tell me about yourself. What are your roles and responsibilities as a programmer, and what is your project? Anybody who has not seen that video, please go through that video. Yeah. And tomorrow, I'm going to release one more video, how to explain ourselves in the interview. I have already given the update. If you go to our YouTube channel, in the community group. What is my next video? What is the next video? Java developers, how to answer, tell me about yourself. In the interview, they are going to ask. So this video, I'm going to upload in the channel tomorrow. Today I will record this video and tomorrow I will upload. My recent video, developers, roles and responsibilities in the project. Yeah. Java developers, what are the roles and responsibilities in the project? Let me show you the final summary of it. Yeah. All right. Now, if you see the roles and responsibilities of developers, 20 points I have given. Yeah. These are the roles and responsibilities of developers. I explained that in the interview. So, requirement analysis, query log preparation, connecting with functional team, repositories, database tables design, development. Most of the people thinks that developer means will write the code, but coding is just one point, just one step in your life, right? If you want to do the coding, before coding, after coding, several stages will be available. Total I have given 20 stages, 20 steps I have given. In tomorrow when you attend interview, if anybody asks you what are your roles and responsibilities, you need to tell all those steps. You need to remember those steps and you need to tell all those steps in the interview. Most of the people, even when I am taking interview in my company, when I ask what are your roles and responsibilities, I'm a Java developer, my role is writing the Java code. That's it. Is that the only role? If any person give that answer, what is the meaning of that? He is from Amirpet. Java developer means writing the Java code. They will tell that that is my role. If anybody give that answer, that means he is a fake person. He don't know project. He don't know how to work in the project. If you work in the project, you will tell these 20 points. As a developer, not only coding will be there. Along with the coding, several other steps also will be available. You need to understand the requirement. You will get some doubts. You need to get the clarifications. You need to design the database. You need to analyze the functionality. You need to write the code. You need to test that code. You need to integrate the code. You need to deploy the code. You need to fix the bugs. You need to deliver the code. Lot of things will be involved in the project development. So that all those steps we are going to learn as part of our project. Clear? Now you need to act like a matured developer. When you are learning core Java, only concept, logical thinking. When it comes to advanced Java, project. Company. In the company, how we are going to work. Similarly, we need to learn the advanced Java. Got it? Yep. All of you subscribe to our channel. The reason is, when I upload a video, you will get a notification. You will not miss anything. For next 10 days, every day I will upload one video related to interview process. What are the tips and the tricks we need to follow in the interview? Everything you are going to get. Now, tomorrow video, how to introduce ourselves in the interview. That is very, very important thing. All of you subscribe now. Open your mobile, subscribe and click on bell icon. What is the advantage of that? I will not get money. I will get money. No, man. You will get notifications. If you just subscribe, I will not get money. If you watch that video, then also I will not get money. Whenever there is an ad, if you click on that ad, then I will get the money. Are you going to click that or you are going to skip that? मुझे नहीं कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. Then subscribe, bell icon, jaldi, completed. The thing is, if you click on that bell icon, when I upload my next video, immediately you will get a notification. Right? चलो. हाँ भाई, क्या? Yes, right. So we understood what layers will be available in the application and what is the purpose of each layer and which technologies are available to develop that kind of a project, a final project. Presentation layer, web layer, business layer, persistence layer. Persistence layer nothing but it contains some logic which is responsible to communicate with the database. What is a database? Database is a software where we are going to store our data in the form of tables, rows and columns. Who will create the database tables in the project? Earlier, 5 years back, 6 years back, for every project, separate database team will be available. But now, no database team. As a developer, we should create the database tables also. What table is required for your project? Those tables we have to analyze and we have to create. In the Oracle classes, you have seen how to create employee table, product table. Similarly, for our project also, what are the tables required? We need to create in the database. Once database tables are created, then we need to develop our project. First, we will develop a persistence layer. Then we will develop business layer. Then we will develop web layer. Finally, at the end, we will develop presentation layer. Presentation layer nothing but user interface. To take the data from the presentation, to give the data to the presentation, web layer comes into picture. Web layer will deal with request and response of the application. We are going to use servlets to develop that web layer. And for our project, some business logic is required to perform some operations, sending the email, sending the OTP, and creating the Excel report, creating the PDF report. Such kind of business requirement will be there for every project. That business logic we will write in the business layer. For business layer, you need to write logic. Logically, you need to be very strong. Next one, persistence layer. JDBC we will use to develop a persistence layer which will communicate with the database. Are you clear with that point? Yes. Next one. Here, what is a project? We understood what layers will be available in the project. Next, what is software project? I already told in the initial classes. What is a software project? Ready, Meda? Software project means what? Collection of programs. Software project means collection of programs. When we are learning core Java, we will develop one simple Java class with the main method. We will write the logic. We will run that program. That means one program we are writing, we are executing. But when it comes to the project, multiple programs we need to develop. For web layer, one program will be available. For business layer, one program will be available. For persistence layer, one program will be available. That means collection of classes we are going to develop to prepare one project. Collection of programs is called as software project. Is called as software project. So here, when you join in any company, a team will be available. Development team will be available. It may be 10 people, it may be 20, it may be 30, maybe 100, maybe 200. Like that. Depends on the project requirement. Set of developers will be available. Every developer will get new task. Today my task, login screen development. Tomorrow my task, registration screen development. Next day my task, forgot password screen development. Like that, every day you will get a new task. Every day new task will be available. Every day new code will be available. Along with me, other developers also will be available. I will write some programs. You will write some programs. They will write some programs. All the programs we are going to integrate to prepare one project. Project nothing but collection of projects. A project means always teamwork. One person cannot develop the project. Multiple team members will be available to develop a project. In my current project, we are 11 members. We have a team with 11 members. We are 11 members working on one project. Okay, tomorrow also when you join in the company, a team will be available. Other developers also will be available. You will develop some functionality in the project. your team members will develop some other functionalities in the project. Everybody will have a new task. Every day new task, every day new requirement. We need to develop, we need to integrate the code, and we need to prepare the project. Project means collection of programs. Collection of programs. And software projects are divided into 3 types, guys. We can, in the industry, in IT industry, we can see 3 types of software projects. 3 types of software projects. The first one is scratch development projects, guys. The first one is a scratch development project. And the second one is support projects. Support projects. And the third one is migration projects. Tomorrow, when you join in the company, once you got selected in the company will keep you in any one of these projects. Scratch development project or support project or migration project. Support project is also called as maintenance project. Support project is also called as a maintenance project. Sir, what is this scratch development? Scratch development means brand new project. Brand new, a fresh project we are going to develop from beginning. A client came, client wants to start one restaurant. For that client, one project is required. Client has given the requirements. We are going to understand the requirement and we are going to develop those requirements. From very beginning, from the scratch, we are going to develop the project. That project is called as scratch development project. But in the industry, unfortunately, these projects are very less. So many projects are already developed. Hello, mister. What are you doing, man? Can you tell me what I explained? Stand up. What I explained. Huh? How many types of projects are there? क्या कर रहा है? Why are you coming here? What is the use? I remember the discussion I had with your father when you were joining in the class. Do you remember that? Your father came to join you in the class, but you are not concentrating on the class. I don't know. Why are you coming from long distance? Why are you wasting your time? Concentrate. Here, how many types of projects we can develop? 3 types of projects we can develop. What are those 3 types of projects? One is scratch development project, second one is maintenance projects, and third one is migration project. What is the meaning of scratch development? From the scratch, from very beginning, we are going to develop that project. So 2 years back, we don't have this Ashok IT, right? When Ashok IT Institute started, we built one project for our institute. So this project was scratch development project. From very beginning, we developed each and every functionality in the project. Any project which we are developing from beginning, from very basic level, that project is called as scratch development project. These are one category of the projects in the company. If you are lucky, then you will get the chance to work with scratch development project. Tomorrow, if you get the opportunity to work with the scratch development project, technically you can learn lot of things because everything will be developed. You will involve in each and every phase of the project. How to create the database tables, what softwares we need to use, what technologies we need to use, how to write the code, how to test the code, how to deliver the code. Everything you will understand if you participate in scratch development project. If you are lucky, then you will get the chance to work with scratch development. But those projects are very less in the market. If you join in the MNC company, 100% you will not get the scratch development project because in the MNC companies already so many projects are available. Their development already completed. If you join in a small company, if you join in the startup companies, then only you will get the chance to work with scratch development project. But if you get the chance to work with the scratch development, even if the salary is very less, please join in that company. Why? Because you will become technically very strong. Technically, you will become very strong because you will learn each and everything from front end to till back end till deployment also. Everything you will understand. If they are giving 15,000 salary or 20,000 salary also, accept it, no problem. Whatever the time you spend in the scratch development project, that will give you lot of subject, that will give you lot of confidence. It will improve your technical skill, your analysis skill, your logical skill. In future, you can jump into very good companies. Got it? But getting scratch development project is very, very, very difficult. If you go for MNC, 100%, you will not get that. Okay. Second category is maintenance project or support project. Sir, what is maintenance project or support project? Maintenance project means already project is completed. Already project is completed. Client has given some requirement. Company developed that project. Development is completed. People are using. But based on the market, client will give some new requirements to add in the existing project. Client will give some new requirements to change the functionality. Client will give some other functionality to implement. Making changes in the existing project is called as maintenance project. 95% of the projects in the IT are under maintenance only. Now, SBI project is available. How many years back it developed? How many years back it developed? Many years back, right? From last 10 years onwards, that project is available. But still in the TCS, 2,500 people are working on the SBI project. Why? Maintenance. New functionalities they are adding. They are modifying existing functionality, right? They are fixing the bugs. Whenever we are using a project, some problem will come. That problem we need to fix. That process is called as maintenance of the project. So 90% of the people who are joining in the IT companies will go to maintenance projects only. Are you guys clear with my point? Maintenance project means making the changes for existing project. He is not able to control the sleep. Making the changes to existing project is called as maintenance project. Maintenance project is also called as support project. Project development already completed, but client is giving some new requirement. Earlier, IRCTC project available. Whatever the IRCTC we have seen 5 years back, IRCTC today looking same? No, lot of changes. Earlier we can book only train tickets, but today hotels also we can book, food also we can book in the IRCTC. What is the meaning of that? That project is under maintenance. That project is under maintenance. Some team is working on the project continuously. Every day new requirements are coming. They are adding new functionality. They are modifying existing functionality in the IRCTC. So IRCTC is now called as a scratch development, or it is a maintenance? It is a maintenance. Development already completed. Facebook. Earlier Facebook, now Facebook, same? No. They have modified so many things in the Facebook. Still they are doing that. Still they are doing that. WhatsApp. Still they are doing the changes. Earlier, WhatsApp group, 3-4 months back, WhatsApp group limited to 56 only. Now today, what is the group limit? 512. 512 members we can add in one WhatsApp group. 3 months back, 256 members is the limit. What they have done? They have done some code. They made some changes to the WhatsApp project. That means WhatsApp is also a maintenance project only. So what is the difference between scratch development project and maintenance project? Scratch development means we are going to build everything from the beginning. Client will give new requirement. We will develop a new project. First time we are going to develop. That is a brand new project. What is the meaning of maintenance project? Already existing project. Project development already completed. Based on the requirement given by the client, we will add some new functionality. We will change existing functionality that we will do. Then that is called as maintenance or support project. Clear? Third one is migration project. Third one is migration. Migration project means converting the project from one technology to another technology. Converting the project from one technology to another technology. 10-15 years back, Java projects developed by using EJB. Earlier, there was a technology, our father's technology. And when our old people are doing the coding, at that time, EJB available. But today, it is outdated. Today, we are using Spring. The projects which developed by using EJB, they are migrating to Spring. And 15 years back, so many projects developed by using IBM mainframes. But today, mainframes are outdated. People are migrating to Java or Python or .NET. So converting the project from one technology to another technology is called as migration project. Okay. Currently, I am working on this migration project in my company. My company project developed 20 years back. It is a bank in the US. That banking project developed by mainframes. That mainframes project from last 3 years, we are converting into Java, Spring Boot microservices. So my project already available, but it is developed by using very old technology, IBM mainframes. But that is outdated in the market now. Mainframes developers are not available. That's why our company thought to change that project from mainframes to Java Spring Boot microservices. We are doing that now. It will take another 2 years to complete. So from last 3 years, we are working on the same process. Another 2 years it will take to convert the whole project into Java Spring Boot and microservices. My current project is under migration. What is the meaning of migration? Converting the project from one technology to another technology is called migration. What is a maintenance? Already developed, project already developed, adding some new functionality or changing existing functionality is called as maintenance. Scratch development, developing the project from base, from very beginning, right? So in the MNC companies, mainly these two categories will be available. Maintenance projects will be available and migration projects will be available. Scratch development projects are very, very, very less in the industry. Got my point? Good. So tomorrow, once you join in the company, you will be part of any one of this project. It may be a scratch development, it may be a maintenance, it may be a migration. If you go for a maintenance, it is a little difficult. Why? Because code is already developed by someone. 5 years back or 10 years back, 3 years back, somebody developed that code. Now today, we need to make the changes in that code. So if you make some change in that code, that may work or may not work. Because of our code, existing code may not work. Because of our code, project may not work. Understanding existing code and making the changes in the existing code is a headache, right? Maintenance projects means lot of analysis we need to do. Client told that I need to make changes to this screen. This screen already available. Code is already there. Some programmer developed that code. We need to make the changes in the existing code. Lot of analysis we need to do. If I make one change, how it will react? How that code will execute? Will that work as expected? Is there any impact on the existing functionality? That we need to understand and we need to make the changes. Maintenance project, working in the maintenance project is always challenging and little headache also. If you give me the requirement, I will take 1 day time to complete it because I will develop everything from scratch. If you ask me to change in the existing code, I need 2 days. Why? First I need to understand what is there, what is not there. And if I make some changes, where it will affect. Because of my code changes, where it will affect. First I need to analyze that. I need to understand impact of the code. If I make one line in the my class is there, my Java class is there. How many lines we can write in the Java class? We are writing Java programs, right? Any limit? No limit, huh? Are you sure? Pakka? Can I write 5,000 lines? Can I write 10,000 lines? Can I write 10,000 lines in one simple Java class? Maybe. Abhi change ho gaya answer. Can I write 50,000 lines? No. Yes, you can write any number of lines. There is no limit. There is no limit. Infinite lines of code you can write in the Java class. But industry standard, one Java class should have 2,000 lines only. That is the industry standard. You can write 5,000 also. But what industry people will think is, if a class contains more than 2,000 lines of code, will be difficult to understand. If any, how many days you will work in one company? Maximum 2 years or 3 years maximum, right? After that we will change, right? Why we will change? As a software engineer, always you need to think that rolling stone gains more mass. Physics pata hai? Rolling stone gains more mass. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? When you are moving, your weight will increase, right? If you simple example, man, you will join in a company as a campus selection. As part of campus selection, assume that you got selected for TCS. They gave 3.6 lakhs package for a fresher. You joined in that company. 1 year completed. First year, no hike because you are a fresher. Second year, they will give you maximum 8% or 10% hike. 3.6 lakhs, 10%. How much? 3.9 it will become. 2 years completed. Third year, again 10% hike. Approximately 4.5 lakhs. 3 years completed. If you stay in the TCS for the 4th year also, your package may go to 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs, right? But if you change from TCS to Infosys, 100% hike. When you change from one company to another company, minimum 50% hike, maximum 100 to 200. With 3 years experience, you are working in TCS for 5 lakhs. If you change that company from 5 lakhs, your package will go to 9 or 10 lakhs. That is one jump for first 2 years. Okay. In the Infosys, you will work for 1.5 years. From there, you will jump to another company. Then again, your package will go to 15 or 16. Suppose if you don't change any company, if you stay 5 years in the TCS, how much package you will get? 5.5, maximum 6 lakhs only. If you make two switches, you will go to up to 15 or 16. So that means as a software engineer, you should love your job, but not your company. Right. As a software engineer, you need to love your job, but not company. If you love company, what will happen? आप उधर ही रहते हैं. You will not get good hike. You will not get good hike. So, in my point of view, for every 2 years, changing your job is good. If you change your job, you will meet new people. You will see new projects. You will see new environment, new technology that will give you more knowledge. That will give you more maturity. If you work in the same project for 5 years, same people, same manager, same team member, same screen, boring. Boring, right? So, it will be boring. So that's why you need to prepare your job switches also for every 2 to 2.5 years of time. And that too, once your experience becomes 10 years, maximum 5 to 6 switches you can do. Once your experience become 10 years, if you want to change also, nobody will call you. Why? 10 years means total energy already completed. Company will squeeze you like anything. Kuch nahi kar sakte bhai. Even once you get the 10 years experience, what will happen? your teenage will be completed. आपका दिमाग में कितना है ना पूरा निकाल देता है सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनीज को. You will not have anything in your brain, and that too 10 years means your package will be high, and 10 years means you cannot sit and you can write the code. 10 years experience means you need to become manager. You need to manage the people. How many managers required for your project? Maximum 1 or 2 people. That means if your experience is growing, your opportunity experience is going, opportunities will decrease. If your experience is increasing like this, your job opportunities will decrease. So how many switches you want to do, how many companies you want to change? Up to 10 years only. After 10 years you need to find one good company, उधर settle होना चाहिए आपको. Because if you want to change after 10 years, it is very difficult, because companies will not have those positions. Companies will not have those positions, because a company cannot take 100 managers, right? Company can take 100 developers, but company cannot take 100 managers. So once your experience is going, your opportunity will decrease. Any number of changes, switches you want to do, up to 10 only. Uske baad you need to settle in one company, or you need to take the voluntary retirement. हाँ, कितना साल काम करते सॉफ्टवेयर में? You can do more years of work, right? Yes. Don't start in Amirpet. मुझे competition आ जाएगा. All right. Ashok, I did 2 hours. All right. So we understood what is a software project. Got it, guys? What is software project? Software project is nothing but collection of programs. Collection of programs is called as software project. A team will be available to develop a project. One person will not develop the project. Team of developers will be available. Everybody will have a new requirement. Everybody will to write the logic. Collection of programs we are going to call as one software project. How many types of projects we can see? 3 types of projects we can see. What are those 3 types? One is scratch development project. Second one is maintenance project. Third one is migration. What is the meaning of migration project? Converting the project from one technology to another technology is called migration project. For example, earlier projects developed by Java 1.6 version, but today 8 or 11 or 17. We need to change our old version to new version. That is also migration. Earlier projects developed by using EJB. Today they are migrating to Spring Boot. Earlier projects developed by mainframes. Today they are migrating to Java. So migration means converting from one technology to another technology. Maintenance nothing but project development already completed. Based on the client business requirement, we may need to add some new changes, or we may need to add the new functionality or change the existing functionality based on the client requirement. Based on the client requirement. That is maintenance. Maintenance means we need to understand the existing code and we need to make the changes in the existing code. Lot of analysis is required. And third one is scratch development. Developing a project from the beginning is called scratch development. So here, which type of a project will give you more technical knowledge for us? Scratch, because you will involve in each and every stage of the project. Database design, user interface design, web layer development, business layer development, code integration, code review, code deployment, code delivery, how to host our application, how end users will access our application. Everything you will understand when you go for scratch development. Maintenance project means it is like a black box. You don't know the complete project. They will tell you, you need to go to that screen and make the change. They will not tell you complete project when you go for maintenance, because development already completed. You need to make one change in the screen, that's it. They will tell you about that screen. They will give you the task. Understand the existing code, make the changes in the code. When you are making the changes blindly, we cannot do. Because of our change, existing code may not work. Lot of analysis we need to do in order to work in the maintenance project. Migration means already project available. It can be a version migration, it can be a server migration, it can be a database migration, it can be a technology migration also. All right, fine. Here we are going to develop the project. A project contains multiple layers as we discussed. User interface presentation layer will be available, web layer will be available, business layer will be available, and persistence layer also will be available. And the next one is how to deliver project to the client. What is the next step, guys? How to deliver project to client. Can we give Java programs to client and ask him to execute? Why? Tappad marega aapko. Why? Why we can't give the Java program to client? Good, good. Clients are non-technical people. Clients are non-technical people. Clients don't know what is the software, what is the Java, what is the .NET, what is Python. They don't know that. They will give the money, they will tell the business requirement. As a programmer, we need to develop and we need to deliver that project to the client. Okay, guys. Now, how to deliver project to the client? First of all, our project can be a standalone project. Our project can be a standalone project, or our project can be a web application. Standalone application or web application. Whatever the project we are developing, that project can be a standalone application or that project can be a web application. If our project is every project will contain collection of Java programs. In the standalone application also, some Java programs will be available. In the web application also, some Java programs will be available. But how to deliver that? How to give? Now I'm a client. I have given you 10 lakh rupees to develop one project for me. You have taken 3 months of time. You have written the programs. If you give me those Java programs, whatever you develop, I cannot do anything because I don't know Java. I'm just a client. I want to run my business. For running my business, I need a project. I don't know Java. I don't know how to develop a project. That's why I have given you 10 lakh rupees. I told my requirement. You developed 100 programs. If you give me 100 programs, I cannot do anything because I don't know what is a program. So that's why first, as a programmer, we need to know how to deliver our project to the client. We are going to develop a project, but how to deliver that project? Here, first we need to understand our project is a standalone project or our project is web application. Is it a standalone application or is it a web application? First, we need to understand that. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between standalone application and web application? Can you stand up? Yeah, tell me. सो रहा है भाई आप तो. क्या किया कल रात? कहाँ गया? घूमने गया क्या? फिर रूम पे पार्टी चला, फिर गर्लफ्रेंड जब चैटिंग. हाँ, then yeah, tell me what is a standalone application and what is a web application? Okay. Correct. Standalone application means that project we can run in only one computer, like our Eclipse IDE. You downloaded Eclipse software. Can I use it in my computer? No. Eclipse we need to download in every computer we have to use. So Eclipse is a standalone application or it is a web application? Standalone. Standalone application means the project which runs only in one computer. Understand? Standalone application means the project which runs in only one computer, that is called as standalone application. What about Gmail? Are we downloading Gmail? Are we installing Gmail? What we are doing? Just we are going to browser www.gmail.com. Gmail is a web application. Multiple users can access that application at a time. That is a web application. So here, client business purpose, we are developing a project. We need to ask the client, this whatever the requirement you have given, this project only you want to use or everybody want to use your application? We need to discuss that with the client. Client will tell that no, this project only I should use in only my system, nobody should use my project. Then we need to develop a standalone application. If a client business is a e-commerce, people should access to purchase the products, then everybody should access that project. So based on the client requirement, we need to decide whether we need to develop it as a standalone application or web application. Standalone application means it will run only in one computer like our Eclipse. Web application means it can be accessed in everybody's computer through internet. That is the web application. Now, how to deliver project to client? Standalone application we will deliver as jar file. Understand? Whatever the Java programs we are developing, if those Java programs are related to one standalone project, those Java programs we will package as one jar file. Those programs we will pack, you will write several Java programs, you will compile the Java program, dot class file will be created, we need to run the dot class file. All the dot class files we will package as a jar file. Jar stands for Java archive. What is that, guys? Jar file, standalone application. The project which runs in only one machine, is called as standalone applications. Standalone applications we will deliver as jar file. Jar file. Jar stands for Java archive. Java archive. Jar contains collection of dot class files. Jar contains collection of dot class files. For client, do we need to give the source code for the client? Will client do anything with the source code? No. If you develop a Java program, directly we cannot execute it. We need to compile. When we compile, we will get a dot class file. We need to run the dot class file. What all the dot class files are going to create, those dot class files we will package as one jar file. Jar nothing but Java archive. Java archive. What will be there in the jar file? Collection of dot class files will be available. Collection of dot class files will be available. That jar file we will give to the client. Inside the jar file, dot class files will be available. Client will run that jar file, then our programs will execute. Are you clear with my point? Yes. How to deliver a standalone application? How to deliver a standalone application? First of all, what is a application? Application means a collection of programs. As a developer, we will develop the source code. Our source code will be available in the .java file. When we compile that .java file, we are going to get dot class files. Multiple dot class files will be available. All those dot class files we will package as a jar file. That jar file we will deliver to the client. So standalone Java project will be delivered as a jar file. Jar file nothing but collection of dot class files only. Now simple example, Java software is a standalone software or web software? Java. Java. What is there? What is that? Java is standalone or web? Standalone. How can you say standalone? We downloaded that software, we installed that software, then we are able to use it. Now, if you go to your Java installed directory, you can see that we downloaded Java, we installed. Go to program files, program files, Java, JDK, lib. Can you see here? JDK, not bin man. 1 minute. JRE lib. Now, inside this lib, can you see rt.jar, resources.jar, plugin.jar, management.jar, rt.jar is available. What is that rt.jar? Runtime jar. All the Java classes which are developed by Sun Micro System packaged as a jar file, they have given that jar file. What will be there in that jar file? Set of dot classes will be available. Let me show you that. Take this rt.jar file. I'm creating one folder in my desktop as a delete folder. I will temporary purpose. Delete folder. Now, inside this folder, I'm keeping my rt.jar, runtime.jar. Runtime.jar file is available. Let me open my command prompt. Open command prompt. Jar -xvf space rt.jar.
Some noise is there, sir.
What I am doing? I'm extracting that jar file. Oh, disturbance coming. Okay. Good. Now I'm executing that Java jar command, jar -xvf space rt.jar. What is that rt.jar? Runtime jar. All the Java related classes are available in the rt.jar file. Now I have extracted that jar file. What is the command to extract the jar file? Jar space -xvf space jar file name. Now I extracted. It is still happening. So many classes are available. So many classes are available in the rt.jar. It is extracting. Meanwhile, go to com, Oracle, something, some folders are created, net, working on it. Yeah. What you got here, guys? You got the .java program, or we got the .class. So jar file contains what? .java or only .class? .class. So here Java software is a standalone project developed by Sun Micro System. They delivered this project as a jar file. Jar stands for Java archive. See, still it is extracting. That means those many .class files are available in the jar file. It is one project. Tomorrow, when we develop a standalone application, we will also compile the Java programs. We will get the .class files. All the .class files we will package as one jar file. That jar file we will give to the client. Got it? Yes. Still it is extracting. Both time Control C. Java. Yes. Java.io. Go to IO package. In the IO package, can you see file reader.class, file writer.class available? Scanner also will be available in the util package. So every predefined Java class we are using is available in the rt.jar file as a .class. Why they have not given the source code here? Separately it will be there. You can modify that source code. Tomorrow, when I develop a project for the client, am I going to give source code to the client? No. Why? Tomorrow, if any change required, simple example, man. Simple example, I will tell you. You have given me one project, 10 lakh rupees. I developed the project, 3 months completed. I given the source code also. After 2 months, you want some changes in the project. Then what you will do? You can go for other company also, right? This is my code, please modify that. But if I don't give the source code, हाँ मेरे पास आना चाहिए आपको. Yes or no? That is a business. That is a business. Companies will do that only. Software companies will do that only. Right? If I develop the project, if I give the code to you, then what is the use? What is the benefit I'm going to get? You can sell that source code to somebody, right? If any changes are required, if you within the 3 months of time you learned Java, any change required, you can do it on your own. मुझे पैसा कैसे मिलेगा? How I will get money? That is a loss for my business, right? That's why companies will not give source code for the client. Companies will give only dot class file. Can anybody read the dot class file? Can we modify the dot class file? No. If any changes are required, वापस आ जाओ. वापस आ जाओ. I want to make the change in this file. Okay, I will do it. But money. That is how software companies are running. Huh? Kitna, how many classes you will convert? How many classes? It will be difficult, right? It is difficult. Yes. Finally, guys, it is completed. You see what is the last class it extracted? Java.lang.object class, Java.lang.string class, serializable class, comparable, class, clonable, system, throwable, error, exception, security manager. Take that there are so many classes are available in the jar file. Which is jar file I have extracted? rt.jar. What is there in the rt.jar? Java files available are only dot class files available. Only dot class files available. If you go to java.util, in the java.util you can see one class called scanner. Scanner.class. Scanner.class is available. So Sun Microsystem developed Java programs. They packaged all the dot class files into one jar file. They have given the jar file. So standalone application will be delivered to the client as a jar file. Got it? Next one. Let us go for web application deliver process. Web application, everybody can access through browsers. Everybody can access through browser. Web applications will be delivered. Web applications will be delivered as WAR file. Web applications will be delivered as a WAR file. WAR stands for Web Archive. WAR stands for Web Archive. JAR stands for Java Archive. When to go for jar file? When to go for WAR file? Come on. When we want to deliver standalone application, we will go for jar file. When we want to deliver web application, we will go for WAR file. Jar means which will execute in only one machine, which contains .class files. WAR file also will contain .class files. Along with the .class file, web content also will be available. Our HTML files, our JavaScript files, Bootstrap files, CSS files, everything will be available in the WAR file. Any web application we are developing, servlets we are using to develop the web application, right? The servlet project will be packaged as a WAR file. That WAR file we need to give to the client. Standalone application means we will give a jar file. Web application means we will give WAR file. Are you clear with this? Yeah. What is the difference between standalone application and web application? Standalone application means the project which runs only in one machine, that is called standalone project. The project which can be accessed in multiple machines, that is called web application. All right. Now here guys, jar file we can execute directly from the command prompt. Jar file we can execute directly from the command prompt. Now here, when we have a jar file, when we create a jar file, I will show you how to create the jar file, how to run the jar file, how to extract the jar file also. Once we have a jar file, how to execute that jar file? To execute the jar file, we will use a command java space jar file name. Java space jar file name. What this is a command which is used to run jar file of our application. It is a command which is used to run the jar file of the application. If you have a jar file, you can run that jar file from the command prompt only. Now let me simply go to one project. Let me show you how to create that jar file also. In the IDE, we are developing the program, right? In the IDE, there is an option called export. Whenever you click on export, it will ask, how do you want to export? I want to export as a jar file. JAR stands for Java Archive, which is used to deliver our standalone application to the client. Okay. These all are the basics you need to learn to start our advanced Java. Still advanced Java not started. We are understanding what is project, how many types of projects, how to deliver a project, what is a jar file, what is war file, that stuff only. Huh? These are the basics. Picture baki hai. Here guys, you see we created one project in the Eclipse. There are several Java programs are available. Now suppose this is my standalone application. Some core Java programs are available, right? So these are core Java applications, right? Java programs are there. This is my project. Assume that this is my project. I want to deliver this project to the client. This is my project, core Java programs available. Right click on this project. Whenever you right click on this project, can you see one option export? Can you see one option called export? Yes. Click on export. When you click on export, it is asking how you want to export. Select Java jar file. What is that? Jar file. So we created one project. That project we need to deliver as a jar file. Why it is giving me jar option? Standalone. If you want to go for war file, AR or RAR or war files also available. Now this is a standalone application. I want to export as a jar file. How I am getting the jar option? Right click on the project, click on export, then select Java. Under Java, you can see jar. Jar file is available. Click on next. When we click on next, it will give the option to export. There is a option, add the directory entities and give the selector export to destination where you want to export this jar file. Overwrite existing files without warning. Export Java source files also. Are we going to keep the source code in the jar file? No. What is the meaning of jar? Collection of dot class files only. If you want, you can keep the source code also, but generally we don't keep that. We will keep only dot class file. Now export generated class files and resources. I'm not selecting this option, guys. If I select this checkbox, source code also will be created in the jar file. We don't need to do that. Jar file location, browse it. Let me create a new folder. I'm creating a new folder, jars. I'm creating a new folder with a name called jars. Right. Select this. Here I'm giving the jar name as app.jar, application.jar. Click on save. Click on next. Here you see export class files with errors, export class files with compile warnings. Click on next and click on finish. Now I'm exporting. Completed. Go to desktop. Check that jars folder. I created jars folder. In the jars folder, can you see app.jar is created? Yes. Directly I have exported my application as a jar file. Right click on the project, export as a jar file. We have given that jar file. We have given the destination. We have given the name. then project is exported as a jar file. Suppose if it is a web application, we will export as a WAR file. Export as a WAR file. Jar will be used for standalone applications. WAR will be used for web application. Now, when we export the jar file, we can execute the jar file by using a command like this. But sir, what about web application? When we export our project as a WAR file, when we create the servlet application, we will understand how to export to WAR file. To run the web applications, we need server. To run the web application, we need server. To run web application WAR file, we need server. We need server. File name can be anything. Extension should be .jar or .war, app.war, sbi.war, irctc.war, flipkart.war. Like that, we can create a WAR file for the project. That WAR file we need to run by using a server. What is a server? Server is also one program which will run the web application. To run the jar file, JRE is sufficient. If you have a JRE, you can run the jar file. But to run the web application, server is required. So when we go for serverlets concept, we will install the server, Apache Tomcat. Tomcat is a server to run the web application. We will install the Tomcat server and we will create the WAR file. We will run the WAR file by using Tomcat. Then everybody can access our project. So standalone application will run in only one computer. Web application will run in the server. Everybody can access the web application. Standalone application will be delivered as a jar file. Web applications will be delivered as a WAR file. In the interview, they will ask the question, what is the difference between jar file and WAR file? Okay, we will package our standalone application as a jar file. That jar file can be executed by using Java command. We will package our web application as a WAR file. WAR files we can't run from the command prompt. WAR files we will run by using a server like a Tomcat, JBoss, Glassfish, IBM WebSphere, Oracle WebLogic, Jetty, Netty. There are so many servers available to run the WAR files of our project. Got my point? So tomorrow when we go for servlets, JSPs, that servlet JSP cannot be executed from the command prompt. Servlet JSP project we need to package as a WAR file. How to create a WAR file? Directly here we can export. Right click on this, export. Here, if it is a web application, it comes under Java EE. Here WAR file option we will get. Select that WAR file and export. Once the WAR is created, we are going to use a server in order to run our WAR file. So to run web application WAR file, we need server. We need to install the server and we need to run WAR file in the server. What is the example for the server? Tomcat, Apache Tomcat. Server is also free software. We can download the Tomcat from the Google and we can run our project in the server. Web application. Web applications we will run in the server. Standalone application we can then run directly in our computer by using Java software, JRE. To run the jar file, only JRE is required. Jar file contains .class files only. .class file contains bytecode. To create the .class file, we will write the source code. From the Java file, source code will be, in the Java file, we are going to write the source code. Here, if it is a standalone application, a project, what is the meaning of a project? .java files. One file or multiple files? Collection of programs is called as a project. Multiple .java files we are going to write in the project. Those Java files can be web layer classes or business layer classes or persistence layer classes. That Java program can contain the logic to deal with request and response. Business logic can be available. JDBC logic also can be available in the Java program. Web layer and business layer and persistence layer. For all the layers, collection of programs we are going to develop. When we compile all these .java files, we are going to get .class files. What we are going to get, guys? .class files. What will be there in the .class files? Bytecode will be available. Bytecode will be available. Are we going to give the .class files to the client? No. What we are going to do with these .class files? We are going to create one .jar file. Jar name can be anything. Extension we are going to give as app.jar. .jar is the extension. Name can be anything. Like this, we are going to develop and deliver a standalone application to the client. A standalone application to the client. For example, if it is a web application, only Java files will be available. HTML, CSS images also will be available. HTML, CSS things also will be available. When this is standalone project delivery process. Standalone project. When we go for standalone project, .java files, .class files will be available. .class files we are going to export. Here we will do compile. Here we will do compile. And here we are going to do export. So .class files will be available. Those .class files we are going to export as a jar file. That jar file we will deliver to the client. Suppose when we go for a web application, in the web application, .java files will be available plus web files will be available. HTML, CSS, JS, images, some files will be available. Along with our Java files, we will have HTML, CSS files, .html, .css, .javascript files will be available. Images, our website logo, some images we need to display in the web application, everything will be available. Now, when we compile this application, we are going to get what? When we compile this application, we will get .class files and web resources. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, JS files, images are called as web resources. We will compile our project and we are going to get this .class files and web resources. When we have these .class files and web resources, we are going to export this application as a WAR file. App.war will be created. So app.war, web archive, this is the delivery format of the web application. Then what we will do, this WAR file we are going to keep inside the server. Apache Tomcat we are going to use as a server that is used to run our WAR file. How to run the jar file? How to run the WAR file? Jar file we can directly run by using Java command. Java space jar file name. It will execute in the command prompt only. But how to run the WAR file? WAR files we need to run by using server. There are so many servers available in the market. One of the most famous server is Tomcat, Apache Tomcat. We are going to use Apache Tomcat server to run our WAR files. Tomorrow in the company also, when we develop a web application, that web application will be packaged as a WAR file. That WAR file we are going to deploy into server and we are going to run that application. Apache Tomcat we are going to use as a server. This is web application delivery process. Standalone project and web application. See the difference between standalone project and web application. Standalone project means which will run only in one computer. Standalone project means which runs only in one computer. Now, we are going to develop the Java programs. We will compile the Java programs. We will get the .class files. Those .class files we are going to package as a jar file. Jar file we will give to the client. Clients will run that jar file. We will tell to clients how to run the jar file. We need to provide the Instruction. User manual. When you purchase a television, are you getting user manual? So it will tell you how to use the television. When you purchase a mobile, we are getting user manual. Similarly, when we develop a project, when we are delivering a project to the client, we need to prepare some documentation and we need to give the documentation to the client. Hey client, your project is developed like this. This is the architecture of the project. This is how the classes are created. This is the jar file. How to run the jar file. These are the steps we need to follow to run the jar file. If a client don't know, then we will go to client location. We will run that jar file in the client system. We will set up the project for the client. Client will use that project. Simple example. If I purchase a television in the Amazon or Flipkart, what will happen? Are they going to just deliver or they are going to install the television in the house? Install. That is the service they are providing. So if I book a television in the Amazon, then they will deliver the television. After television is delivered, next day, after 2 days, that installation process boy will come. They will set up the television in the house. Right. Simple example. If I purchase a refrigerator in the shop, so they will deliver that. After 1 or 2 days, a boy will come to set up that. So similarly, when we deliver a project to the client, we should go to client location. We need to set up the project for the client so that client will use that project. So when we have a standalone application, we will give the jar file to the client. We will give the demo to the client how to run that jar file. If you develop a web application, we will go to the client location. We will take a system. We will install the Tomcat server. We will tell to client how to deploy the WAR file into the Tomcat server, how to run the web application, how to access the web application. We will give that completed demo and we will give user manual also for the client to understand how to use the project. That also we need to do. Documentation we have to prepare as a developer, how we developed that project. So developer means not only writing the code. As I told in the video, 20 steps will be available. Those steps we need to perform. Those are our roles and responsibilities. So if anybody asks you, what are your roles and responsibilities? You need to explain those are 20 points. Then they believe that, yes, you are really working in the project. Got my point? Yes. Yeah, what we discussed today, we discussed about presentation layer, web layer, business layer, persistence layer. What is a project and how many types of project? Collection of programs is called as project. So in the industry, software projects are categorized into 3 types: scratch development, maintenance, migration. Scratch development means from very beginning we are going to develop that project. Maintenance means already developed project, we are going to provide maintenance for the project. We will make the changes in the existing project based on the requirement. Some new functionality we may need to add, some existing functionality we may need to modify, depends upon the requirement. Migration means converting from one technology to another technology is called as migration project. How to deliver the project to the client? Depends upon the type of the project, right? If the project is a standalone project, we will deliver as a jar file. If the project is a web application, we will deliver as a WAR file. Jar means Java archive. WAR means web archive. And there is a one more category, guys, enterprise applications. Earlier, enterprise applications will be available. Those are distributed applications. If one project is going to communicate with another project, web services communication will be available. That is too technical to talk about that now. In future, we will understand in the Spring Boot. Enterprise applications. Enterprise application, nothing but a distributed application. Distributed application. Enterprise applications will be delivered as EAR file. They will be delivered as a EAR file. EAR stands for Enterprise Archive. Java Archive, Web Archive, Enterprise Archive. Okay. jar, which is Java archive. Next one is var, that is web archive. Next one AR, enterprise archive. When your application is a standalone application, we will deliver as a jar file. When our application is a web application, when we will deliver as a var file. If our application is a enterprise application, distributed application, what is the distributed application? If one project is communicating with another project, that is called as a distributed application. Such kind of projects will be packaged as a EAR file, and we will deliver that EAR file to the client. Yeah. Any questions, anyone? Yeah. Anybody having any questions, any doubts? No doubt. No doubt. Huh? Legacy technology to new technology. Zero level se hoga. No, not security purpose, man. Suppose our project is developed by Java 1.6. Now there are so many new features added in the 1.8. I want to migrate it, right? Make faster, more easy. Yeah, easier maintenance. Suppose my bank project is available that is developed by using mainframes. After 10 years, can you find any mainframe developer? If they want to make any changes, it is difficult, right? For easy maintenance in the future, they will migrate from old technology to latest technology. Okay? Any other questions? Any difficulty? Able to understand? Yeah. So tomorrow we are going to see how to create, no, not JDBC. How to create a jar file, how to run the jar file, how to use one project jar file in the another project, that we are going to understand in the tomorrow session. Still, advanced Java is not started. It will start in the next week. Advanced Java will start next week. We need to learn all these basic parts of the Java. We have discussed how to create a jar file, right? By using export option. How to run that jar file. Okay, and suppose Java people has given rt.jar file. How that rt.jar file used in our projects? Okay, one project jar file, how we are able to use in the another project. So lot of stuff we need to understand. The basics we need to discuss. JDBC will start from Monday. Today, Tuesday. Yes, another 3-4 days it will take to understand basic parts only. Good. Any questions? Online people, any doubts? Today Java 8 class. Yes, today Java 8 class is there at 7:15 to 8:30. I will take Java 8 class in the online. Yeah, that is for not morning people, for evening people. Today topic share. Share मतलब ये क्या share है भाई? Okay, in the group you want me to share, I will do that, man. Yesterday video, today video, I will share in our group. Okay. Portal. And one more thing is, for advanced Java, you will get the class notes and class videos in the portal. Mostly by tomorrow, we will upload all your data to the portal. We will give the access for you in the portal. Okay. By tomorrow evening, I will give that. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you guys. So we'll continue in the tomorrow session. Tomorrow we are going to understand how to create the jar files, how to use the jar files, how to run the jar files, what is path setup, what is a class path setup, what is a build path, that we'll discuss in the tomorrow's class. Good. Thank you guys. We'll see you in the tomorrow session.